Today I'm going to show you one very quick and easy tip you can use to grow your podcast audience faster. If you're like every other podcaster out there, you've probably struggled to grow your show. You've tried a bunch of different things. You have all this information coming at you. It can get overwhelming, frustrating. You're still not seeing the results you want day after day after day after spending all the money on all the equipment and putting in all the time. But what I'm going to show you today is going to help you grow your audience even faster than you've been doing already. I'm Brian Fleming, and welcome back to the Podgasm Marketing Podcast, the only podcast in the world that shows new podcasters how to create a clear and compelling brand message for their show so their podcast will reach more of the right people faster. If you're a newer podcaster struggling to grow your show, this podcast is for you. So, what is this one quick and easy tip I'm talking about today? It's leading with value. Leading with value. That's it. Now, what does that mean? It's very simple. Think about when, I don't know if you're like me, but when I was growing up, we would walk through the food court at the mall, and when we'd walk through there would be people standing out in front with a tray, and they'd have some of the, on a toothpick, they'd have a piece of the Asian chicken or their next big thing that they're handing out. They're handing out free samples because they want to get you bought in so you'll come and you'll spend money, so you'll interact and engage with them. Well, there's an equivalent to handing out free samples in a food court when you're a podcaster, and it's having a free lead magnet, a free download, something your listeners really want that you can give them for free in exchange for their email address. This helps you grow your email list, which is the lifeblood of any business. So if you want to monetize your podcast in a legitimate long-term way, you need to grow an email list. And you've probably seen other podcasts offer things that you can go download. Like, for example, with this podcast, the free thing I give away is the Speak Your Listeners Language free PDF, where I show you exactly how to say what you do in a clear, compelling way on your podcast so more of the right people will show up and want to listen and keep coming back. It's very easy. If you go download this, by the way, if you want it, you can click the link in the description, or you can just go to podgasmshow.com. If you go get that, basically what you're going to walk away with in about 5 minutes is an about section description for your podcast that is so clear and compelling, you can literally just write it out the way I tell you to, copy and paste it into your podcast show host, and then you never have to touch it again. And people will understand, the right people will see it, know it's for them, why they should want it, and they'll keep listening to your podcast even more. That's just an example. It can be a PDF like that, or it could be a video, it could be a training, it could be anything that your audience wants that is compelling and helpful for them. And that's why it's very important not to have just a general idea of who your podcast is for, knowing very specifically who exactly your show is for, because you can't effectively market to everybody. You can effectively market to a very specific person. Look at my quotation fingers. A very specific listener who has very specific problems that they want gone and outcomes they're trying to get that your podcast can help them get. So think about your show. Think about your ideal listener. What is an outcome they're trying to get that your show can help them get? Or what is a thorn in their side that is so painful, or they're trying to avoid it and they know they have the problem and they hate that problem, and you can create something free that can help them get rid of that, or at least take a step in the right direction of getting rid of that. They will be incentivized to get that from you, whether it helps them get an outcome they want or avoid an outcome they don't want. Those are the only real two reasons people take action, even me. I'm trying to get something I want, or I'm trying to avoid something catastrophic that I don't want to happen in my life. So ask yourself this question: what is your free lead magnet? Are you offering one? If not, you need to. If you have questions about that, just shoot me an email. There's the email in the show notes. But what is your free lead magnet? Is it something compelling that is wanted strongly by your ideal listener? And third, here's the big thing. Is it listed at the very top of your description, in your show notes, in your wherever whether you're a video or an audio podcast? This should be the first thing listed in your description or your show notes. And if you look at this episode right now, if you go look at it, at least as of the time of this recording, you will see a perfect example of that. Before even the episode description, you will see a one-sentence blurb and a link to go get the free Speak Your Listeners Language PDF. Because the more visible that is, the more the right people will see it, the more the right people will download it, and then they will get into your sphere of influence. They'll get on your email list. You can continue to provide value to them and even monetize by selling to them in the future. So this is today's quick and easy tip. Offer a lead magnet. Lead with value. Give something of value, something of great value. Don't go cheap on this. Offer something at great value for free. And think about this. Make it something you would actually be willing to charge money for, but give it to them for free. And then put that description at the top of every episode description. That way, the most amount of the right people will see it, download it, be helped by it, build the know, like, and trust factor with you, and then you will grow your audience, you'll grow your show, and even be able to monetize your show easier and faster. And look, if you want help doing all this, I work with a few clients a month. I do personal consulting where I write all of your show's brand messaging on one piece of paper so you always know exactly what to say, how to say it, in the right way for the right people. Here's how it works. You and I will sit down for 15 minutes on a call, and you'll tell me about your podcast. I'll determine if whether or not you and I are a good fit. And if we are, I'll write out all your brand messaging for you that you can literally just copy and paste into your podcast. Your descriptions, your titles, what to talk about, what guests to have on, all of that becomes flawless and easy once you know this. Once you have a clear, compelling brand message that I can write out for you. And then you just get on your podcast and talk about what you want, and you're doing it in the right way so it attracts more of the right people over and over and over again. So if you're interested in looking into that, just shoot me an email right now at podgasmshow@gmail.com to see if we're a good fit.